everyone. It's Bron and Jenny, and here we are on our first coffee catch-up. Cheers. And yes, thanks for coming, Jen. It's lovely to see you. And I'm just going to put up here the agenda. Here we go. Look at this. I'm being very clever. Look at this. Ready? Welcome, Jen.
Oh, okay. Oh, you are. Too clever.
It's anyway, great. And you know what? Thanks for your question. So really, guys, what the coffee catch-up is all about is just about answering. Can you just stop that? Sorry, I got some background noise there. Yeah, it's all about just getting into these problems that, you know, small business owners face every day of the week on social media. So, Jen, thank you so much for coming today. And you know what? I'd love you just to really briefly, just to introduce yourself, tell us a little about yourself and why you're here. And we can get into the questions in a little bit, but just, yeah.
Yeah, Jennifer McKenzie, married Celebrant. I've worked at this for about 10 years. I haven't really mastered the Facebook at all. I had a girl doing the Facebook for me. Which was okay, but then I think I really need to be able to manage this myself and get it out there. I actually interviewed a couple yesterday, and Vanessa's word to me was the reason why she chose me was because what I had on my website. So I was really thrilled to think that that's working anyway. So that was good. So now I need to master this so I can have more chats with the people out there type thing. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So, and the thing is with social media, it's not alone, right? It is part of websites, it's part of emails, it's part of free offerings, it's part of networking events, it's about the people who go to the weddings, Jen. You know, we want to just bring that up because you are amazing and beautiful, and I have seen you, you know, in your element. So it's fantastic. And, you know, 10 years, and I noticed here you've got here that you said to me your goal was around, it's a retirement job, which is really cool, and that you'd like at least 4 weddings a month, but it's not happening. So you'd like to improve your marketing skills, which is fantastic. You're not alone when it comes to these questions. So, again, I really want to say thank you for coming today and voicing what other people think. So what have you been doing? Obviously, you've got your website. What else have you been doing with your marketing, like up until now, over these last years? Since you've been in course. Yeah.
Just the Facebook group. And I've got a personal one. And then I actually use Facebook for my business myself. I don't know how I did that. I prepared one earlier.
Oh, that's great. So in terms of, obviously you're wanting more?
I'm in local search as well. I'm in there. I pay them to, you know, I advertise with them, which is I'm finding I'm getting a lot of inquiries with Google. The inquiries I'm getting are through Google. So they've got me sort of up there pretty much in this area, which is nice.
Excellent. So we really want to leverage that. And as you know, on Facebook, there are local recommendations. So you want to make sure that your business page profile is set so that people can, that your privacy settings are so that people can actually tag you into those things. What I find a lot of businesses don't have the ability to be tagged. So if you go into your settings, and I'm happy to screenshot this after the call, if you go into your settings, you want to make sure that your settings on your business page are open so that you can be tagged in. And it's so valuable in the fact that people know people know people. I mean, I know you've heard me say it 1,000 times, but they really, really do. And we want to use the story that you heard yesterday with the lady saying that she's found you on your website. Fantastic. Let's get her to write that down or video it for it. We can use it as a post. Like, that's really cool. You know what I mean? So we just want people I just want to go into some of the questions that you've asked me. And one of the questions was, how do I write, I've just shortcut this, how do I write interesting blogs, or what skills and tools do I need to be able to write the blogs, which I'm assuming you want to host on your website. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. And you wanting to be able to use those blogs for social media. I mean, obviously, yes, I know you've been to a workshop with me, which was fabulous, and now you've realised, guys, there's this thing called a social circuit, which is another call to discuss. But what Jen's wanting to do, and correct me if I'm wrong here, is that you're really wanting to leverage your blogs, make them interesting so that people then actually, read them. And then, as you've just proven, when all roads lead to Rome, which is your website, you can then get a name and an email and a phone number, and then be able to build a connection as you've just done, which is to have an interview and book people in. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, this wee girl yesterday, she was so convinced, and I got there because we just spoke on the phone as well. And we got there, and I said to her when we sort of had a chat, I said, do you want to go with me? Because, it's up to them whether they want to go with you or not. So she was totally convinced before she even spoke to me, which didn't even ask me how much I was charging, which I think is a good sign for a start. Absolutely. Because most people want to know. Yeah. So, yeah.
I was going to say,
then I rewarded her for that. I said I would give them their marriage certificate from the BDM as a gift.
Oh, wow.
And so she said to me, oh, I love gifts. So it was sort of a goosebumpy moment, really.
And that is just that's beautiful, Jen, because that's you.
Yes.
And that's part of what I feel people miss on social media, on their websites, is that they look at people as prospects. They don't look at them as people. And clearly what we're wanting to do is start talking to those people. Like, you've obviously created enough information for that person to connect with you. They've got to know you. They've got to like you. And not only that, they got to trust you before you got there. Now, that is exactly what we're wanting to do across whatever social platforms you choose. So really around how can you help? And this is where, how can I write interesting blogs? Well, do you know what I'd love you to do? I'm going to give you a couple of questions. I'd love you to go and ask her some questions. Just say, look, you're doing some market research.
Yeah.
Just say, look, you know what? I just love your thoughts. Yeah. And it could be something along the lines of, well, what was she feeling or experiencing before she came and found you? Like, what was her challenges? What was she looking for with her wedding? What was important to her before she found you? You can then ask her around what was, why did she choose you? I mean, maybe wait for that question until it's done. But in terms of you're wanting to know, she'd already chosen you before she'd met you, and to me that is fantastic. So we wanted to find out that, her challenges. What's an ideal wedding celebrant? What's that ideal situation for her? And how does she feel with that?
Yep.
Because the main thing, we want to hear the feelings. We want to, and this is where it's called emotive language. And this is where we're talking to people, not prospects, because we're now getting away from what we do. We're now looking at who you are, Jen. And it's about encapsulating that in video, in copy, in images, in blogs. And by asking this lady these questions, she's going to give you answers which you can then turn into blogs or video blogs.
That's true. Yeah.
And then what you're doing is that you're then giving your ideal client the information, and they're answering that big question that I always say, which is, how can I help, before she comes to you? And it's just what we're wanting to do is to do what you've just done, but do it more consistently so that you have a steady stream of interviews coming through. Yeah.
So it's the emotional side of it, isn't it? Because when I said to her yesterday, I said to both her and her partner, when I do a wedding, I feel like it's mine. And I get goosebumps. And she said, oh, that's lovely, because that's the way I feel, So you really got to, put yourself out there, really, don't you? 100%.
And it's not, this is where, people go, it's not about ranting, it's not about raving, but it's about being real. And it's about you could write a blog about that, Jen, around how it feels that every wedding is that emotional connection and how an honour it is for you to be a part of that.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny because I've written that a lot. There's been a lot of things like being part of it and being an honour and all that sort of thing. I reply a lot when I've done a wedding. I usually send them an e-card as well and thank them very much and for the honour of being able to be in their family. So I do that after the fact. So I need to do it before the fact, don't I?
And how does it make you feel? Like, how do you feel when you have someone and have an interview like you did yesterday? How did you feel about that, Jen?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, yeah, so it's, so I need to do that before the,
Yeah. So yesterday we spoke to that bride today. How did you feel about it?
Well, really, it was really quite strange. The connection was really straight away with this young lady. And because I think when she read my website, what I said was what she was looking for. So I was willing to do what she wanted me to do for her. That's how she explained it. Yeah.
And that's ideal client.
Yes.
Because it's not about the money, it's about the value. No. So when you're looking, guys, when you're looking at social media or when you're looking at copy and content and posts and blogs, it's all around values on one side and values on the other. So we want to high beam the value, not the money. Because when you make it about money, you've missed the point.
Yeah.
As in remembering you've got like literally a gazillionth of a second to grab someone's attention.
Absolutely.
So we want to write to her. We want to write to this ideal client. And for you, let's just focus on the weddings because you've written here that you're wanting to get more weddings a month. When you focus on the bride to be like the couple, but she's the one who's going to see it.
Yeah, yeah,
Would you
absolutely, yeah.
We want to create her as a person, not a prospect. We're not going to try to sell to her. We're going to go. We're going to connect with her, which to me, now that I've got to know you a little better, that is your gift, Jen. That's your empowering. That's the best part about you. That's where your uniqueness comes in. So when it comes to writing interesting blogs, we want to write to this woman. One thing you can do is you can put down 2 sides of a piece of paper. On one side, you write 10 questions that you get asked all the time. Like, you know how anyone who's watching this in your business, if you write down 10 questions of what your customers or your clients asks you, you put them on one side of the page.
Yeah.
And on the other side, you write 10 questions that people don't ask.
Yeah.
Know that they should or want to ask. You know how, there's a lot of times you've got those questions floating around your brain, but you don't actually verbalize it. You're wanting a mix of those. If you do 20 questions, Jen, that's 20 blog topics.
Yeah.
20 posts.
Yeah.
So your interesting blogs come in because you can mix it between something that they don't ask.
Yes.
And something that they do. Like you think about it, you think about the conversations, even the one you had yesterday. What were some of the questions that you were being asked?
Because they just want to have this as a little with 2 mums and themselves, and maybe like I've done that a lot. So I said to when we spoke on the phone first, I said I've done that type of wedding a lot. So some people think, oh, that's not enough or that's not much. So I was able to talk to her about others that I'd done and for the reason why that they had done it the way they do, and so she probably was comfortable with that. I'm not expecting her to do something spectacular or I'm just there to do the wedding to the way she wants it. And that was basically it in a nutshell, really. She didn't really ask any questions.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is, right, you listened. You listened to what she wanted.
Yeah.
You didn't offer an opinion. You supported her decision without judgment. So she wasn't judged by you.
No,
really
no.
Don't you think? So you're thinking about, thinking about those questions can be broken up.
That's true. That's true.
Break that question. It's a big question, right? Which means that it's not just about doing what people want. It's about understanding and being able to bring to life a service that is appropriate for them. So that's the kind of thing that you want to talk about. So if you could write down those 10 questions and, once this is done and you go away, please share it in the social business group. The reason why it's in the group is because that's a place of value, and put them in there. I'd love some feedback. And for those who are watching, please, we'll give some feedback, Jen, so around those questions. All right.
That's good. Yeah.
Does that answer that question about how to write interesting blogs?
Yes, because I've sort of been listening to what you've been saying, and like in the group session we had, and and doing, it's like I've sort of started one that's what happens next, but I don't know that's going to run that well. I don't know, but anyway, I've done about 5 posts on that, but I don't know that it's sort of connecting. I want to connect with the boys as well, for husbands and things like that, because since I've been up here, I've done about 2 reaffirmation of vows, a commitment ceremony, and connected that commitment ceremony. They also did a little wedding because we had done the paperwork. So there's a lot of people up here that do reaffirmation of vows. The boys have said no, the husbands, but then all of a sudden they decide they're going to do it. And I've got one on the 6th of October, another one. So. It's people up here are quite emotional, romantic type people too, I've found. Yeah. So they want to sort of connect. It's going to be a surprise once again, the second surprise one we've had. And it's just so lovely because you feel so special that you're actually there to deliver this special, and it means a lot to them. I got a lot of feedback actually from the very first one I did. So I should really be thinking along those lines too, shouldn't I?
Absolutely. So what you want to be thinking along the lines of is, what did you love about it? What did they love about it?
Yeah.
Why? How did that I'll call her a bride, but with the reaffirmation of vows, how did she feel about organising it for him without him knowing? That was a lot of courage.
It was the husband that did it. So we surprised the bride.
Right, so to go and interview him and video it.
Yes.
You don't have to, remembering, guys, you don't have to use the video. You can get it transcribed through rev.com. You can take the words down, you can take pictures, but what I find, Jen, is that a lot of people within what they do don't see the value of sharing that story.
That's right. Well, that's right.
It's like having a coffee, right, to you and I, but it's really exciting, like to have a husband to surprise the wife. Like, I think that is really beautiful. And it's not this is what, you can use the Dickens, which is this is where it was, and then this is what they did, and this is where they are now. But people love stories. And then from there, you could do, something along the lines of the top 3 reasons of why people do reaffirmation of vows.
That's right.
I'm sure, and so they want to read it, and I think, if Jen says it and these people are doing it, well, it must be okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. No, it's just no, that's good. No, that's good. So really, I've got to think back about what I've done and what people have said to me. I need to get that all sorted, don't I?
And how they felt.
Yeah, and feelings, and
how they felt, but not just how they felt. How did you feel as well?
Yeah.
There's a lot riding on it. Like, even just down to the tables, the flowers, the this and that. There's a lot of preparation involved, and I could imagine you will want a top-notch show, so you're wanting to make sure there's a blog in that. There's a lot of work behind the scenes. But we'll just keep moving on. Your next question was, how do I get people to engage and chat? And this is a really, really interesting, especially because, of course, there was Facebook Zero at the beginning of the year and all the hype and all the stuff that went on in that space. It's really important to know your ideal client. So if you're thinking of ideal client, and again, I'm just going to stick with weddings. Remember, guys, everyone can have multiple ideal clients. You just can't talk to them all the same. Because, say, for example, someone who's getting married versus someone who's having a reaffirmation of vows is a very different part in life. So I could be a reaffirmation of vows versus someone who's mid-late 20s who's getting married. We have very different needs and wants. You know? So, you know, as a mother of 5, like we went to one of our boys' last day of high school this morning. He's graduated this morning. So it's been incredible. Like, and it's very, you know, it's sadness, but it's, I mean, excited, but I'm sad.
They're growing up.
But the thing is, right, you want to know who your ideal client is. So to answer this question, you need to think about your ideal client. Think about the lady you've just met. She sounds great. Yep. Thinking about if you're sticking to just weddings, let's just go weddings, and go through what they're thinking. How old are they? Are they working? Are they, you know, you want to look at not just the demographics, but also the psychographics. So are they proactive? Are they reactive? Or do they procrastinate? Yeah. Now, just putting it out there, guys, when you are looking at ideal clients, and you've got people who procrastinate, remember that what you write, if you put out there that they procrastinate, guess what you're going to get? You get what you're given. So whatever you put out is exactly what you're going to get back. So be very mindful how you word stuff. You know, Jen, are they educated? Are they not educated? And I'm not just talking about qualifications here. No. Hey, guys, it doesn't show me who's actually commenting, but I'm going to go, hey, hi. And I'll get it afterwards and I'll comment.
What's going on?
Someone's written on here, hidden assets. Yes, this is what a hidden assets are, Jen. So how to get people to engage in chat is to provide information. And I've written it here on a very little piece of paper. And it's got, can you read that?
How can I help?
How can I help? Answer the question with zero expectation of anything in return.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So when you're writing, and this is where we're writing to people, not prospects, how can I help? And this is where you'll get people to start engaging in it. Yeah. You know, it could be, I've got some information here. You want to make sure, of course, that your imagery is really nice. And please, guys, if you are going to use images, make sure that they're royalty free or that you've got license to use them. I was speaking to a client yesterday and Getty Images is chasing them because a couple of years ago, their web developer must have just used an image but didn't have the license. So every image on Google or whatever, if it's a professional image, it's got a little tag or it's a little code on the background. It's like a geographical locator. And this is the second client I've seen be charged. They're wanting $800 from this guy for an image that he didn't even know about because his web developer put up. So totally off the topic. But I really want to make sure if you're using, Jen, this is when you know who your ideal client is. What kind of images does she love? She's a bride. Think brides. Brides love lots of different things, but ideal client bride. Who's that ideal person in terms of what she's got coming through? Funny, you can find some of those funny wedding videos. You could share it. Mm-hmm. You know, you could, people are videoing, right? So what would be awesome is if you could start getting some footage, perhaps, if the bride and groom approve, of course, of you doing your thing.
Yeah, it's quite funny you say that because it's one of the hardest things to get hold of. It's always after the fact that they're going to get it, and it is really difficult to get someone to give me a clip. I'll tell you though, when we did a wedding, we did the commitment ceremony here, and these guys had come from Brisbane, and they're connected with my website, with my Facebook now, and they sent me a clip of their video of what they would, and I noticed also what people are doing now is the venue, putting that on the venue, when there's anything posted, putting on the venue, the hairdresser, the videographer, all of those, and all of those people go on that with that picture. So that's the thing to do, is it?
Definitely. So what I would suggest with that is build that into part of your, what I call your pre-event structure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Get them to like the page, get them to do some basic stuff, and make sure that you're getting some written permission to be able to share a little bit of their video, or they can tag you in. But this is why you have to have your business page set up so that you can be tagged.
Yes.
Definitely. And remembering people know people know people. So locally, you're wanting your name associated with the venues, your name associated with the photographers, your name associated with the flowers, because people know people know people. And you start doing that, it's absolutely going to increase engagement. So you can educate, this is why we educate your clients before the event, Jen, to play along with your social strategy. Because, I mean, you can guarantee they're all over it. And no, because you would never, ever post, obviously, before the bride and groom too. So you can get permission of all of that. And you know, honestly, I'd be giving your phone to one of the young ones while they're there and saying, hey, can you just grab me a couple of minutes of footage?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I do have Ellen there too with me, but it would be good to give to one of the, because that would sort of integrate more too. They'd say, oh, that'd be great.
And then you can tag them in, but the thing is, you can educate your bride months before to say, hey, look, this is part of what we do, and if it's okay with you, would you mind, blah, 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 blah. Like you've come to me today. Yeah. And I'm forever grateful, but it's very valuable because we talk, especially for businesses who are local or geographical, this stuff is super powerful, and this is how you increase your engagement, all for free, Jen.
Yes.
Because on Facebook and on Instagram, you can tag in these businesses and you can get the rapport. Why? Get to know, like, and trust, which means you will get your 4 weddings simply by consistently doing the same thing, meaning that you're wanting to provide value. You want to answer the question, how can I help? Make it funny with those quirky clips. You know, like if you've got someone coming with you, just film stuff for the sake of filming it. So this is where we all suddenly become celebrity Kardashians. Yeah. Not. But it's around if you look at the marketing behind what they do, it is gold. My God.
I'm not just there to do the wedding. I need to be thinking way outside the square.
Way outside, right? Because you're arriving. You can always pretend to be. I'm not saying be the bride, but I'm just having fun, right? It's about the fun. Yes. And weddings are fun. Weddings are beautiful, and it's not just the serious, which is, I think, the celebrants, because your job is very serious.
Yes, it is.
Very serious. It's a legal thing. You can't just do these things, right? But so we want to share that.
That's right.
You know,
valuable. I've got 2 weddings at the weekend.
Right, you're on.
So both of them, I think, will be okay with me doing that, because the first one I do, they told me I had an aura.
Oh, wow.
So I'll be right. Jen will be happy, I think, for someone to take a bit of video clip from them. So I'll ask for that.
You'll never do it before. You're never, ever going to use that piece of footage until well after they've done their stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The photographer, he's done his thing. But you build that relationship, especially locally, especially on Instagram, guys. If you can support geographically as many local businesses as you can. Yes. So with your followers and your following, you're wanting it to be the same. So if you're 500 following, you want to be around about the 500-600 for following, and followers. So you want to keep it, but you want to make them local, right? Because for you, Jen, it's front of mind, which means when it comes to people getting, oh my God, I'm looking for a celebrity. But I know this lady, her name's Jennifer McKenzie. She's fantastic. She's all over Facebook and she's all over Insta. You can find her. She's brilliant. That's what you're looking for.
Yes.
You can ask for feedback and reviews. All right. You don't have to have a review thing on your page, but ask for it. So when it comes in, screenshot it, video it, but then that becomes a post within itself. And it's not saying, hey, look at me, I'm amazing. What it's doing is that's the social proof. The social proof, Jen, is that you have an absolute beautiful, genuine connection with your clients. and that's important to you, that's what we want to leverage, because that's what they're going to get when they meet you. Okay, so we can, now when you're posting, just make sure with your copy, with your images, please, it's not like in school where you're told to write 250 words and then the next paragraph. You want them short, sharp sentences, and lots of what is in the marketing world called white space. Lots of emojis. So even if you're putting up a video, maybe add some emojis so that people know that you're joking, because you know what it's like. The trolls are there, and we're not going to attract the trolls, because all the good people around you are going to help you, especially with social media blitzes and things, guys. And what that is, if you go and look at my last blog about the ambassador strategy, get some people in that space to actively participate and support you, and you support them. And, you know, Jen, that would ambassador for you with your local businesses that you've done good dealings with, photographers, hairdressers, venues. Get to know them, they get to know you. So you're not just a celebrant, because you're not just a celebrant. You are bringing to life the most exciting day of their life.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So what else have I got here? You can also, in a Facebook Live, if you want, you can do if you go down that track with video or pre-recorded video, you can have an offer or a voucher or something that would be of value to a bride-to-be.
With this one, I think if I go down that track, because that's a value, asking for another $56 on top of what they've paid. But what I'm doing is taking it off the total that I'm charging, and I think that's added value, because another $56 could be make or break a lot of cases.
So you can put that as a voucher.
I'm thinking of that too. I'm trying to. What do I do how do I put one of them together? I've got to go on to. So
go to Canva to create an image that's.
We pay for that, don't we?
No, it's free.
Oh, okay. Yep.
va.com.au.
Okay.
.au. What am I saying? Canva.com.
No, just .com, isn't it? Yeah.
I can't do two things at once. Bloody chemo brain. Thank you for whoever wrote great tip on content, short, sharp, and to the point with plenty of white space. Yes, it's really difficult, because you know what? In this society where people just, scroll to their heart's content, we've got to be able to read it easily.
Yes.
If you're writing, and you've got your market's a Gen Y market, Jen, so you've got to think beautiful imagery. But again, back to your, let's just focus here. With your voucher, go to Canva, create a really nice image that's got, voucher or $50 off or $56 for free, and it can be used as a pinned post on your page.
Right.
So then you write, if you go to Bron Watson business page, you'll see the example of a messenger strategy. This is called messenger strategy. You'll see an example of this. Yeah. You'll write a copy for the features and the benefits of how having this free certificate, it's a beautiful gift. My gift, you could even put my gift to you on your image.
Yes.
And then the way that they can contact you is just to personal message you, because what you're looking for is, with free stuff, it's never free, because it's a name, email, and potentially a phone number, because you obviously want to be able to build a relationship with them. But once you bring in Messenger, Jen, you'll be able to build the conversation, which is, have you someone, or when are you thinking of getting married? All of the questions to create a conversation, which is what you do so well. And then it becomes, well, I'm going to get this super cool free thing from Jenny McKenzie versus this other celebrant, so why wouldn't I go to you? And then if you get people like me and all the other lovely people in our local area who understand social media blitz, and those who are in the social group here, this group, we can share that post for you. And with the algorithm with Facebook is it's not so much the likes, it's the comments and the shares that matter. And with a comment, you're wanting something a little bit longer, so like longer commentary, which is, oh, thanks Jen so much for that, for this voucher. This is just amazing. And then you'll reply back to me. And then what it does with the algorithm, it's like, because remembering that what Facebook is wanting is connection and engagement at a human level. And then it will literally go to more people, because people know people know people, and then it gets out and the comments start coming in, and it means that maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but there's this lady called Jenny McKenzie who's providing beautiful information and helping people, not trying to sell me stuff. I'm going to recommend her over the other one who just makes it about the money.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it does. Yeah, and that's because I work face to face with people. It's different when you got to think about what you emotionally do to get it on paper, isn't it? It's a different scenario altogether.
But I want you to think about talking to that one person, which is your ideal client, and talk to her. Yes, it's a couple, but talk to her.
Yes.
Talk to her and make it real and emotive, because you know, you're not trying to flog them anything. What you're trying to do is go, this is the most important day of your life, and I'm just here to make it, to help you if I can.
Yes.
I'm not wanting anything in return. I'm just wanting to help you. And just by doing that, you will get tenfold. It just happens. It just does.
Yeah, because she said to me, oh, don't bother, because it's going to be just in their lounge room and overlooking the water. She said, oh, don't bother bringing your table. That'd be fun. I said, no. I said, we can have a table set up. I said, I've got a love sign. I'll put that on the table with flowers. I said, no, we can do that. And I said, have your mums and yourself around the other side. And so I'll have to get on to see if they'll let me take a clip of that too, because that's what I should be doing now more of.
Yes. Yeah. And even with one big video, you can chop it up into little videos. There's lots of apps on your phone, which is, you know, I'm half blind, so I can't see anything, but lots of apps on your computer, on your phone that you can use that are free. And if, for those of you guys who are watching, if this is resonating with you, or if this is something of value for someone, can you just share it? I'd love it if you could just really, you know, tag someone in or whatever. But more importantly, Jen, if there's questions from here, if there is people who are watching who have questions that come up around what tools to use, man, we'll find some cool tools, because I'm all about doing everything you humanly can do without spending a cent, because there's just so much available now.
That's great. It's great to have that, to have you giving that to us too.
Well, you know what? I've been in this space now for nearly 8 years, and in marketing for over 22 years. I mean, on my first marketing job was at Ticker Tech, would you believe, back in the 90s. That shows you how old I am. So, you know, I've seen a lot of change over this time, and I think it's more around small businesses helping small business, because it's hard enough running a business these days. And in this space, there's like gazillions of things to do. So I really trust that helps, Jen. If anyone has any questions, just please, let me see if I can get that. I'm going to hide that one, and we're going to put that one up. Any questions? Oh, my God, look at that. I'm just wondering. I don't know how that happened.
Just going on my phone.
Oh, this is hilarious. Look, it's moving. It's just like distracted me. But anyway, Jen, I trust that has helped you. If you've got any questions from these, and I'd love you to put the work that you do, the videos that you do, the blogs you do, please share it. I'd love to see it. And, of course, once you get that messenger or that little voucher ready, let us know. I'm your #1 ambassador.
Right. Now, with your Facebook page and your messenger, is that naturally connected?
Yes. They are two separate apps.
Yeah.
What you're wanting, the messenger in your business page.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I go to a business page and I'll do something in there, do I?
You can, right? So, for example, let me see. Let me see if it'll come up. Okay. I'm just going to pull up the Bron Watson page.
Yeah.
It's not going to really work very nicely on my phone. Of course, the internet decides to go. I've got visit. Ooh, I'm so not used to this.
Yeah, just over a wee bit.
There we go.
Yeah.
I've got group. That's my option. You can have a message, right, which you can set up message.
I need to go into settings.
Yeah, and because you want it to go through the Facebook business page message, not your personal profile message.
Right.
Okay, and that's how they work. Because Messenger app is separate to Facebook app. If that makes sense.
I've got a Messenger app on my phone, but
no, but this is your business page. So, for example, there's actually an app called. Let me right way. Let me see. No, not Messenger. That one. It's opposite to where I'm looking. There with the flag.
Oh, right.
That's a business page app. So you can access your business page through that app, and it does make it easier to use.
So when I look on when I go on my phone and I can see who's connected, when it's something to do with my business, it's got a flag flying then.
Correct.
When it's me in the business, so it's got a flag on it. Yeah.
And you can, so rather than answer it as yourself, you want to answer it through your business page, which is the easiest way to do that on your phone is using the business page app, which is the one I just showed you. Just it makes it easier, it separates it out, especially if you're going to be using what I call a messenger strategy. But anyway, Jen, I'm realising we have been live for nearly 40 minutes.
That's what I do when I talk too much.
No. Anyway, thank you so much for coming again, Jen. I totally appreciate it. And I love your questions because these questions are the people who want to ask these questions but don't. So thank you so much. And for those of you who are watching, please comment below if there's anything you want to know. And especially if it is resonating with you, please tag in someone who you think would find of value. So Jen, I'm not sure if you know any business owners who you think might be valuable in this space. But anyway, other than that, thank you. And I look forward to seeing your posts.
I might have to go through those posts that I've got sitting there to be posted.
Send them, put them in this group.
And really sort of add them.
Yeah.
Oh, well, look, God knows what's going to happen now. I'll have a go at it all.
All right, then. Okay, guys, I'm about to hit end. So thanks, Jen.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, bye.
Bye.